A new champion of Spanish tennis is here. Rafael Nadal has held this title for over 15 years, but now it seems someone else is about to clinch the title from him. A lot of people have speculated that Alcaraz is his natural successor, and that might be right, because since 2003, no other standard has won a Grand Slam. Rafael Nadal is one of the most decorated players in the history of tennis, with 22 Grand Slam titles to his name, more than most of his contemporaries have in their possession. He won the Australia Open twice, the Roland Garros tournament 14 times, becoming the tennis player with the most wins in history, Wimbledon twice, and the US Open 4 times. With all these achievements, it is safe to build a comparison between 19-year-old Rafael Nadal and 19-year-old Carlos Alcaraz. Who is Carlos Alcaraz? Carlos Alcaraz is a young Spanish professional tennis player that has proved his skill and expertise a lot of times. He is currently standing at number 2 on the men's singles chart by the Association of Tennis Professionals. He has won 7 ATP Tour-level single titles, including the 2022 US Open and 2 Masters 1000 titles. He became the youngest player to be the number 1 at 19 years, 4 months, and 6 days old, and also the first teenager in the Open era to top the men's rankings. Alcaraz has been making waves ever since he was a junior, having been ranked as world number 22 and bagging 2 titles on the ITF junior circuit. Carlos Alcaraz is the next big thing in the world of tennis. In this video, we will be talking about Carlos Alcaraz and his very impressive gameplay and tactics. Is he the next Rafael Nadal? Yes or no? We are about to find out in this video. He made his ATP main draw debut at the age of 16 in February 2020. He was at the Rio Open and also after winning a wildcard award for the singles main draw. However, he was defeated by Federico Coria. As Alcaraz grew older, he qualified for the main draw of the Australian Open, making him the youngest participant in the men's singles. Here, he won his Grand Slam debut, defeating colleague and fellow qualifier Botek van de Zandschulp in straight sets, but lost the second round to Michael Ymer. Alcaraz gained a breakthrough at the 2022 US Open. He played against world number 3 Stefanos Tsitsipas at Arthur Ashe Stadium, and he beat him to a 6-3, 4-6, 7-6-2, 0-6, 7-6-5 win to reach the Grand Slam quarterfinals. His opponent was greatly impressed, and he commended the 19-year-old. Ball speed was incredible. I've never seen someone hit the ball so hard. Alcaraz became the youngest player to beat a top 3 opponent at a major match since Michael Chang, 17, defeated top-rated Van Lendl and third-ranked Stefan Edberg to win the Roland Garros in 1989. He is currently the youngest person in history to win the Madrid Open, defeating Adrian Manarino as a wild card, and also breaking 19-year-old Rafael Nadal's record from 2005. In the second round, he was defeated by the same Nadal, who is a 5-time champion. He went on to win the biggest title of his career then at the Open de Oeiras 111 Challenger Tournament. He made the top 100 list as the youngest player at the age of 18 on the 24th of May. When you see somebody at 18 that can hit the ball that big already off both sides and move that well, it's close to unique. Paul Annacone, coach of superstars Pete Sampras and Roger Federer, said in an interview with the New York Times. Success doesn't come easy, and as much as Alcaraz has had his ups, he has also had his downs. He played at Wimbledon and lost the second round to Daniil Medvedev. He, however, made up for this at the Winston-Salem Open, but lost the semifinals to Michael Ymer. During the second set of the Grand Slam men's singles quarterfinals, he lost to Felix Auger-Aliassime due to retirement after sustaining an injury to the leg. Paul Annacone had mentioned Alcaraz's playing skills to the New York Times and why he seemed to miss some shots. He said, "His backhand is better than his forehand. He misses his forehand occasionally. It is huge, but he misses it. He doesn't miss the backhand at all. Sometimes I do wonder, and I don't mean this in a bad way, whether someone who plays like that is fearless or just doesn't have any tennis IQ yet." Shot selection is one problem most young players experience, especially the ones with a vast collection of shots. However, Alcaraz has constantly made more positive headlines for his sportsmanship. Once at the Miami Open semifinals, his opponent Hubert Hurkacz reached a drop shot, but the umpire declared it as a foul, ruling that the ball bounced twice. While Hurkacz was questioning the call, Alcaraz intervened and conceded a goal. The latter was grateful and fans applauded this show of sportsmanship. The 19-year-old tennis player is an all-court, all-round tennis player, but he mostly uses an aggressive baseline style when playing, placing emphasis on a high winner count from his forehand, his most reliable and most trusted shot. As his senior colleagues have stated, his first serve is always at high speed, typically at 210 km/h, which has earned him a few criticisms. His second serve comes with a top spin done to achieve a high bounce off the court and get a weak return or a pushback from opponents. Anytime he is asked what his inspiration is, he always refers to star tennis player Rafael Nadal as his childhood idol. It's only normal to compare both players, with each other being Spanish and having won big titles at young ages. Just like his idol, Alcaraz began playing at the young age of 4 and also has a fondness for clay courts. Alcaraz met Rafael Nadal at a young age at a second-round encounter on his 18th birthday at the 2021 Madrid Open. At the Tennis World USA, he was quoted saying, "At 18 or 19, Rafa was already a major winner, and it's nice to hear that he compares me with him at that age." Also on ATP Tour.com, he describes playing against his idol as a dream come true. In an interview with Tennis Majors, Nadal described Alcaraz as unstoppable in terms of his career. He also described him as passionate and humble enough to work hard, having all the ingredients he needs. He revealed all this ahead of their second meeting on the court at Indian Wells in March.
He's a great guy, an amazing player, and he has a fantastic future.
Following the younger tennis player's win, Nadal commended his win on Twitter, saying it is the first of many to come for sure. Even though Alcaraz has done lots of great things, wildly beating Rafael's 17-year title to become the youngest to crack the top 10 in Barcelona, it might be hard for even him to reach the heights that Nadal has reached. However, this in sports and anything could happen in the next 2 to 3 years. It's unpredictable. Comparing sports legends is just a fun exercise, and this particular one is just to appreciate Alcaraz's excellence. There's no pressure on him to do more than he already is, or any insinuation that he's a failure just because he hasn't gotten to Nadal's heights. The young tennis player doesn't even get moved by the comparisons. Instead, he focuses on tournament after tournament, and he has a nice relaxation time enjoying jet ski rides. We all dream of that, don't we? Is 19 a magic number in the world of tennis? And a 19-year-old Rafael Nadal shot into the limelight in tennis. He had a spectacular season and he topped it with his first Grand Slam win. In the same year, he became the 4th youngest player ever to win the Roland Garros at an age of 19 years and 2 days, defeating Argentina's Mariano Puerta in the finals. When comparing both legends, one might experience a little difficulty, but one thing to be certain of is that bagging so many titles and awards at the age of 19 is a big deal. And using that as a measure, one can admit that Alcaraz has an upper hand over Rafael Nadal. Despite that, Alcaraz still has more years of tennis ahead of him. We wonder if he will be able to maintain his current standards, just like Nadal has done for 15 years. What are your thoughts on the comparison between Carlos Alcaraz and Rafael Nadal? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you.